Okay, today's session I will start off with JDBC. What does the full form of JDBC means? Java Database Connectivity. That's the full form. So this is on terminology now. One by one I will start breaking. So first we'll understand what is database, then we'll understand what is connectivity, then we'll understand what is Java database connectivity. It's a big terminology now. So let's understand what is database first. See, before we understand database, you have to understand what is an application. What an application does. Okay. So see, generally an application will do this thing now. So an application will have one user interface like this, where you will be asking the user to fill some values like enter ID, enter name, or you might ask him to enter password, and you might ask him to enter more values like this, phone, something like this. Okay, and he'll submit the values. This will be the user interface. So when you develop applications, see, this screen will be there. So these values will enter into your application now. This is your application now. Okay, so means what will the application do now? It will accept the values, process the values, and after that what it will do? It will give back the response, saying it might depend on the logic. You might say welcome login, okay, or you might means welcome to the new user, or you might say thank you for logging in, something like that. Some messages you'll give, and finally, so this will be like, yeah, like thanks for becoming a member. Means if it's first time. If it is second time, according to that you will execute the logic and you will be giving the response. So means, see, usually you will get a request to your application and your application will give back a response. This is the whole story. The application receives a request and then it will give back the response. So now see, when you receive this application, this is where we write the logic. Okay, so this application can be written using any languages. Like example is you can develop this application using C, C++, VB, Java, any language you can use. Okay, so now but when you are developing this application, see all these languages, now which language you use for developing the application is irrespective. Now you can use any, but we try to use the easiest language or more user friendly language, which there are a lot of grounds on which we choose a language for developing an application. Okay, one, it might be user friendly, second, it must have libraries, good libraries, then more support like portability, multi-threading support, all these things we see and then we decide which language is the best and then we'll start to code. But whichever language you use, end of the day you're doing what? The same thing. The values will enter your application, will process it and give you the response. So in all the languages we have got terrific support. See, there's no difference. See, all the languages for processing what they'll do. Now see, these are values which enter into your, see, he might enter values now, 101, name is Ramesh or something. Okay, his password might be Ram or something. Then he might have his phone number as 111, something like this. So once he submits this, see, these values are entering into your application. So he'll hold the values in some variables. You have to hold it. So all languages are good enough. So that is why they give the data types. Now understand why the languages give you data types. All languages give you data types for what? For holding values. So you'll declare a variable of that particular data type and you'll start holding the value. So ID will be having a value of 101. Then you might have one more variable by name string, name, and you'll hold the value, Ramesh. So all these values will be coming dynamically actually. Here I am hard coding, but just understand. Then you might have a password which might be string password. You might give the password as Ram, yes. That is also string, and you might have one phone number. So that will be 111, something like that. So whatever is given you, you are holding it. So all these values are in primary memory now. This is primary memory. See, look now, you'll write your logic, you'll go back to response. But once the response is given, what is happening now? Your values are lost. Once your application closes, all the values in your application are vanished. Why? Because primary memory is volatile. Okay, so reason is, see here the need for database I am telling you now. What is the need for a database? Once your application receives the value, you will hold them in variables. They are temporary memory. Okay, then you give back the response. But once the response is given and the application shuts down, what happens? The values are lost forever. Again, if you want the same values, 101, Ramesh and all that, from where will you get now? User is not going to give it back to you. So that's why what we do, we store these values into something called as a database. Understood? So that is primary memory now. This is secondary memory. Now in secondary memory it is permanent storage. Primary memory is temporary storage. So whenever you develop, see now remember this, whenever you develop an application for an organization means what? Companies or enterprises, they have lots of data. Like it might be KSRTC, railways or banks. These are all applications related to what? An organization. Railways is an organization, bank is an organization, insurance is an organization. So all these organizations or enterprise, we say companies, they have what? Huge amount of data. So they start getting data like this. And once you receive the data, next what you will be doing? In primary memory you will hold, process the values, and finally what you will do? You have to dump it into database before giving the response. Otherwise values will be lost forever and you cannot use them later. So it becomes mandatory. So you have to store now. So in the database, how will you store? Example is you will have one table now. You will have one table now. See, this will be your table. This will be in the database. So you will have something like employee ID. Then you will have name. Then you will have password. Then you will have phone. Like this you will have some columns. So one table will be in the database. So as you go on receiving the values, the same thing you will start doing what now? Start storing the values now. Ramesh, his password is Ram, his phone number is 11. Like this, you start dumping it now. Then you will give back the response like this. Perfect. This is what an application is. Okay, you take any application in the world, end of the day it's going to do the same thing. So now which language, I'm repeating, which language used for coding is irrespective. But whichever language you are going to use is going to do what? The same process. So now we are understanding the need for what? When you develop an application, what all you need? You need a programming language. Then you need what? Database. Then you need what? One user interface. So here the language what we have learned till now is Java. So for doing this also what we will be doing now? We will be using Java. Why? Because Java is more powerful. You can do it using any language, but we find it more comfortable doing with Java. Anyway, see till now what I have done is I taught you all independently. Database I have taught you independently. Writing Java program I have taught you separately. UI I have still not introduced, but I will be doing it very shortly for you. Okay, so once I do it, then you will understand this complete process. So right now since we have covered database separately and Java separately, what I will be doing is I will be integrating both of them. First I will show you how to make the connectivity between what now? A Java program and a database. I am going to show you how to do the connectivity between Java program and database. So this is the whole idea. Are you clear? This is an entire diagram now. Now see, which memory is important? Primary memory or secondary memory? You might have a question. See, primary memory is temporary. Secondary memory is permanent. Okay. So if you don't think now primary is not important and secondary is important. Why? Because see, secondary memory is used for permanent storage. It has its own purpose. Primary memory is not waste. It is also required because values in database cannot be processed directly. Once values are stored in database, if you want to write logic using them, what will you do? From secondary memory, we retrieve it into or bring it into primary memory, and this is where you write the logic. So primary memory is used for writing logics. So values are needed there also. And after processing the values, these values are dumped into database for permanent storage. So both the memories are important. So here, see when you are writing an application, this is an application now. Yes, get the point clearly. This is database. Don't you need the connectivity between your application and database? You need the connectivity between what your application and database now. So now which language you are using to connect to database, that is secondary. It might be C, it might be C++, it might be Java or VB or whatever. Okay. But whichever language you use to write your application, database connectivity is mandatory. So I have broken two jargons now. Database connectivity. Is it clear? In JDBC we are clear with what? What is database and why you need connectivity. You need the connectivity now. But that connectivity, since we are writing the code in Java, we will be learning it from Java point of view, and that becomes what? Java database connectivity. It's on terminology, that's all. Understood? So to do that now, see, what all you need. See, generally when you write an application, first what you have to do? Get the database connection. There are a few steps what you have to follow. Get the database connections. Then next what you have to do? You have to send SQL queries from program to database. You have to send your queries. Then next, you have to receive the result from the database also. So this entire thing will be happening. So for all this you have to write the code. But in Java we don't have to worry about this. Why? Because Java gives you excellent libraries for all this. Excellent libraries it will give you. So all those libraries, they come in this, or say something called as on JDBC API. In Java there is something called as JDBC API. Means the full form of that is Java Database Connectivity. Java Database Connectivity and Application Programming Interfaces. That's the full form. End of the day, API stands for what? Application Programming Interface. That's the full form. But actual meaning of API is what? Set of classes and interfaces needed to program an application. Okay, so learn it like this. JDBC API. So learn it like this. API, I stands for what? Set of classes and interfaces. P stands for programming. A stands for application. Go in the reverse order, you'll get a clear definition. Straight away if you go application programming interface, correct. But otherwise if you say from reverse, it is more clearer. Full form is API, application programming interface. But if you want the definition of what an API is, it is set of classes and interfaces needed to program an application. What type of an application? Java Database Connectivity Application. Understood? So it is going to give you some set of classes and interfaces. Java is well organized. And all this set of classes and interfaces, they are being kept in two packages. One is called as java.sql package and the other one is called as javax.sql package. There are two packages. So if you learn all the classes in these two packages, in Java it is over. You can do what now? You can connect to database, send the queries from Java to database, as well as receive the results from database into your program. That's simple Java is. But doing the same concept means doing connectivity, database connectivity in other languages is very difficult. Understood? But in Java it becomes easy. So are you getting the concept now? What is Java database connectivity? So that is the concept. Now we have to put it into what? Coding. Understood? So still before we reach coding, I'll talk about some more concept and then I'll enter coding. Are you clear what is database? Why it is required? To store values. Okay, why do you need a programming language? To write logics. Okay, you can use any language. And your language will give the support for what? Holding values in primary memory. Done. So language you got, database you got. But finally what you have to do? You have to connect to database and store the values in primary memory into database. Why? So that your values are not lost. So that is where the picture comes now. Connectivity. Connectivity between your application and database. Done? Fine. So shall I clear this now? So what I'll do now is, I'll have one table in the database. So we are going to learn it from what? Java point of view. So very simple. And let's see how Java gives the support for doing all this now. So assume that there is one table now. We'll be having one table now in the database. It will be a very small table. Later on we'll make big tables. There will be a table by name EMP. Okay. And it will have some columns. Employee ID, name, and one more would be salary. And there will be some values in it. So there will be a table already existing here. Assume, so now what I will be doing? Yeah, this table is there. First name is Rajesh, Ramesh. You can have any values, that's your wish. 1000, 2000. One more user, Ganesh, 3000. Revati, 4000. Ravi, 5000. So there are 5 users in the database table. Okay, so it is there in the database now. So my concept is this now. See, as I told you, First we'll learn this connectivity and then we'll think about user interfaces. Okay, user interface will bring it later. This one, what? This is your application now. Understood? So this will be your application. 1 second. Yeah. This will be your application. So see, you will receive the request from a user interface. Your application has to connect to database, receive the value, and then what it has to do? Display all those values to the user. Assume that there is one link, show all users. You want to see all the users. One button is there in the user interface now. So what when the user clicks that button, what you have to do? You will receive the request, your application. Your application should do what now? Connect to the database, retrieve all the values from the database. Then what it should do? Display it into the user interface. So this user interface part, we'll be seeing it later. Right now, don't worry about this part. So right now what I'll be showing is, I'll be having a Java program now. It's a Java application. Okay. So it will connect. We'll get the values. All these values we'll get. And that value, I'll be displaying into Java console. You know Java console now? All the values will be displayed here only. All these values. What are you seeing there? What? 101, Ramesh. You know SOP, when you print a hello world, it will print now. So there I will print. Okay. So this UI I will bring later because this will be seeing it in Servlet, JSP and all will be seeing this. That's the next part of the topic. Okay. So first we will complete the back end part of it and then we will come into the front end part. Understood? So we have completed database, we are completing connectivity in Java and database. Then we will come to the front end part. So that is back end, this will be front end. So right now, this is the actual idea, but this we'll see later. Yes sir. So now this is your Java program now. So what should your Java program do now? Get the connection, receive the values and display it into the console. Yes. So to do that, see, what you have to understand right now is, see, your application, your Java application, clearly get the point now? Your Java application and the database, where it is in the same computer. Yes or no? That's a stimulated environment now. My Java application and database will be in what? Same computer. Fact is, your application and database can be in two different computers also. But right now we are seeing the environment where your application and database is in the same computer. Fine. So see now, even if you are going to have a table in the database, it's going to be well organized. Okay. How it is going to be organized? The table in the database, this I covered in what? Database. This very clearly I covered in database now. So how is your table going to be stored in database now? See, this is the whole idea. Your table, how it will be? Actually your table will be present in a schema. So I'll be creating one schema by name what? Ravi Oracle. Yes or no? Tables, all your DB objects are present where? In schema. What are the DB objects? It might be synonyms, it might be tables, it might be views, it might be stored procedures. All these are present in the schema. And the schema means I am going to use the schema by name Ravi Oracle. And schema is present where? Inside one instance. We know all this root now. This I had explained to you. In database I had explained to you. Understood? So it is present in the instance called as XC. Now this entire thing setup is there in what now? A database. So tables are also very neatly organized in what? Database. So inside the database, what have we got now? Inside the database you got instance, then you got user or schema. Anything we say? User or schema. Both mean same, there is no difference. User or schema. Inside that you have table. Okay. Now see, but the fact is, yeah. See, this is your database now. Your application will connect to database, receive the values. So now, when this is the case, see now when your application wants to connect to the database, what all values it needs to connect now? First, you should write the code here to connect what? Means to the database. You have to write the code to connect to database. But to connect to database, what are all the different values you need now in your Java program? You need all these values. Only then you can connect. Otherwise you can't connect. So first you need the IP address of where the database is located. Where is the IP? Means it is in the same computer. Understood? You need the, see, the application is in one computer, database might be in different computer. Okay, but here right now we are assuming the fact that application and database are in same computer. But still, to connect I need the IP address now. So when you give the IP address of your own computer which you are coding, or you can also in simple ways say it as localhost. Generally we do this. We say localhost means it's in the same computer. Next, what you need to connect? You need, once it is connected, see, you also need something called as port number. Every software you install in database, will have what? One port number. Any software you install. The port number of Oracle, right now I'm going to work with which database? Yes, I'll be working with Oracle database, Oracle 10G database. I'll be using 10G. Understood? Oracle 10G database I'll use. So the port number of Oracle 10G database is 1521. Then next, what you need? You need the instance name. What is the instance name? XC. What is the username or schema name? Ravi Oracle. So then what is the password? It will be same. Generally we keep the username and password as same. Yeah. So these many values are required. 5 values. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 values you require. So in your program, if you have these 5 values, you can definitely connect to the database. Now once you get connected, then story will start off what? Retrieving the values, means getting the values, processing the values, all that. First get connection. Got it now? Okay. So this is the whole story and this is what you are going to do now. Are you clear with this? You understood what we are trying to do now? We will not have the UI. We will not have the user interface. Only we will write the Java program to connect to database. I will fetch all the values and these values I will display where? In Java console. All the values I will display. I have written here only 101 Ramesh 1000, 102 Rajesh, all the values will be displayed here. So this is what we are trying to do. So understand what output we are trying to get. Based on that, start seeing the program. Clear this? Okay. So now let's start seeing some more things here. Yes, see now, one thing understand. If you want to work with database in JDBC, what we do is, so you'll be using JDBC API here. And for the JDBC API, you'll provide all these values. All these values will be provided into the JDBC API. Means for the classes and interfaces which you'll be using now, we'll have to send these values as arguments. That's it. Means supply it. Automatically you start getting the connection. So let's see. So here what happens for getting now? There are some steps you have to follow. So if you are coding in Java, hardly there are some 4 or 5 steps. If you follow these steps, automatically you'll get the output. Okay. First we'll learn it in English, means theoretically. Then we'll start coding. Then we'll start understanding technically. First theoretically you'll understand. So the first step what you have to do is, in Java you have to load the database driver. See, follow the steps now. Load the database driver. This is step 1. Second one is get the database connection. Third step, create the statement. Fourth step, execute the SQL query. And finally, fifth one, process the results. So hardly you have to write 5 lines of code, you start, all these things will happen now. Just 5 lines of code. Java is very powerful. So why we are preferring to use Java over other languages? Because user friendly, rich library. We don't have to code anything in Java. All these things are ready-made for us. We just have to use the library and you'll get the output. So in Java it's all about using the library, and this library is present in which package? Java.SQL package. We'll start exploring that now. Are you clear with this? Are you clear with the whole thing what we are trying to do? Fine. Shall I clear everything now? So I'll write the code now. After I write the code, then I start typing and showing it to you now. Understood? So only user interface will not be there, this user interface. Fine. Now one more thing. Yeah, first I'll show you the code now. So remember these 5 steps, the same 5 steps I'm going to write and show you now. So the code would be the same. One thing, yeah. So this is how you start coding now. See, once we want to write a Java program, the beginning of Java program is which one? Main method, public static void main. I'm writing it in short, PSVM. But you have to write fully. Which one? Public static void main string args. Write it. So this is where your Java program starts off now. So you have to write the code now. So see this. I'll write the first line. First line, actually, what am I trying to do? I'm trying to load the driver class. I'm trying to load the driver class. So class dot for name. So we learned theoretically. Now we are trying to do it in coding. Later on we'll understand. First understand code. Then we'll understand what it is doing technically, one by one. So all I'll say is Oracle dot JDBC dot Oracle dot JDBC dot driver dot Oracle driver. Yes, first understand what does this mean now. Understood? From Java point of view, you see. See here, first you have to understand class is a class name. Class is a class name in the Java library, and this class is present in which package? Lang package, java.lang package. For name is a static method present in class. So class.forName, why do you use this method? For explicitly loading classes into the JVM. If you want to load any class explicitly into the JVM, you can use the forName method. But for that forName method, you have to give what? Fully qualified class name. So the forName method says pass an argument of type what? String. ForName method says pass an argument of type string. So we are passing it. But end of the day, if you see inside that, the string is also of type what? Means what is the actual value of the string? It is a package. Carefully notice Oracle dot. See the Java conventions. Oracle dot JDBC dot driver dot Oracle driver. So what is the convention we follow for packages? What we do? We use small case. So Oracle is small. JDBC it is small. Driver it is small. But class names go with what? Camel casing, first letter caps, first word first letter caps, second word first letter caps. So what is this? It is obviously a class. Understood? So end of the day, class.forName is trying to do what? Load a it is trying to load a .class file. Means it's trying to load a class into the JVM. Okay. So but this class is present in this particular package. So that is why package names always tell you what? History of the class. See, the Sun provided classes will tell you what? Java.package. Now somebody else also will use .class files. Understood? See, the Sun provided classes, string buffer and all are in which package? Java package. Now similarly you start seeing more classes. So like that .class files will be given to you by many people. So this is one class given to you by which person now? Oracle. Understood? So like that many people will give .class files, will use. So that's why package names always tell what? I told you when I was teaching you core Java, history of the class. Package names always tell you what? The history of the class, from where that class is coming. So now when you look at it, it very clearly tells it is coming from which vendor? Oracle vendor. Java dot means it is coming from Java people. Oracle dot means like that many vendors are there. This is the first time you are seeing a different vendor supplying us what? A dot class. Till now you are using all classes from where? rt.jar. Understood? But right now we'll start, means rt.jar is containing what? Java.lang package, SQL package, all that is there. But all the classes are present in those packages. But this is not present in rt.jar. It's present in some other Java file, which I'll be very clearly showing you now. Understood? But what is class dot? That is technical part of it. Now let's not worry technical part of it. Theoretical part of view, what is the point of view? What is the first point I told you? We are trying to load the database driver. You are trying to load the driver. Yes, I am trying to load the driver. Fine. And for loading it, what am I doing? I am using the forName method and I am passing the fully qualified class name. That's it, you understand. From Java point of view, start understanding. Theory, Java point of view. Java point of view means what is class, what is forName, that you understand. Technical point of view, all those things we'll be seeing it in the coming classes. Understood? Because we are going to see database for JDBC for how many days? Nearly 8 to 10 sessions we'll be seeing. All that classes I'll be clearing you each and every doubt of this. So once this is done, next what you have to do is you have loaded the database driver. Understood? You have loaded the database driver. Now this driver what we are using is for getting connection to Oracle database. If you want to get connection to MySQL, you load a different driver. Like that, For which database you want to connect? For one database, you got one driver class. So the first step is done now. What? Loading the database driver, because I want to connect to Oracle database, Oracle 10G. Fine, next get the connection. So next line will be this now. Connection con is equal to driver manager dot get connection. So here you have to send three string values. You have to send three string values: URL, UID, PWD. Understood? So UID, URL, UID and password. Now don't type like this only. There is some actual value you have to replace. What is that actual value means? See, for URL, I told you, you are writing a Java program. Your Java program has to connect to what? Database. So your Java program needs what all values now? Where the database is located, localhost, correct? Then port number, then instance name, schema name, all that value you will give it in one line here. But you will give it like this. See, this is the value you have to give. JDBC colon, Oracle colon, thin colon, thin colon, @ of localhost colon 1521 colon XE. So XE is the instance name. I have written now. Okay. So when you are installing Oracle now, by default one instance is created called as XP. That this entire value, JDBC colon, Oracle colon, thin colon, okay, @ of localhost colon 1521. This you have to replace it here. Since I am not having space, I am writing it like that. Okay. Next, UID means you want to connect to which schema? Ravi Oracle. So this you have to replace it where? There. Lastly, you have to replace PWD. That is also what? The password for all the schemas, we keep it same here in cluster. Understood? So these three values, URL will be replaced with that, means this URL will be replaced with that value, user ID will be replaced with Ravi Oracle, this will be replaced with Ravi Oracle. So now once you do write these two lines and run your code, you have got connection to your database. Finished. You are connected to the instance XE, and in that instance you are connected to Ravi Oracle schema. Now in that schema I have got a table called as what now? EMP. I got a schema now. In that schema I got a table now. Which table we have got now? EMP table. So now let's see how to work with that table now. So next I'll write con dot. See, this is different. Your program is here only, class demo. Okay, fine. Now con dot create statement. I'll call one more method. This method is present here now in connection. So the return type of this would be one more interface. These are all interfaces. Statement ST. So connection, statement, what are all there? They are interfaces. Clearly understand Java now? Again, what is driver manager? Driver manager is a class. Java you understand. Don't see technically what is happening here. Understood? Again, driver manager is a class. Get connection is a static method. Static method present in driver manager class. And these are three string arguments. So if I execute this method, it will return me an interface called as connection. Authority interfaces. No, Java how many data types you are having? Class, subclass, abstract class, class, subclass, abstract class, interface. So it is connection is an interface now. So in this interface, if I call a method con dot create statement, understood? Con dot create statement, what will happen now? It will return you one more interface called as statement. So these three steps are over now. Step 1 is what? Load the database driver. Step 2 is what? Get the connection. Third step is what? Create the statement. Fourth step is what? Execute the SQL query. So how will you do it now? st dot. There is one more method present in what? Statement. st dot execute query. See, now you can write SQL queries. SQL queries are case insensitive, but better you write it in caps. But you should be able to because you should be able to distinguish between your Java code and SQL code. So write st dot execute query. The return type of this is one more interface called as results at rs. Fine. So that's it. 4 lines you got the values. You got connected to database, retrieved the values, and all these values are present where you know in your Java program. Means right now what has happened is, see this. Yeah, this was the table now. Employee ID, name, salary. This is your table now. And in this we are having values. So this table is present where now? In a schema called as Ravi Oracle. This is present in schema instance called as XC. And here you got the database. Database is also well organized. Which one? Yeah, Oracle database. Okay, so this is Oracle database. Inside the database all the story is there now. So now see, assume that I have written code. Okay, so now this is my Java program. This is what I am teaching you now. So it will go connect to database because I have given all the values. Connect. So it will connect. It will in fact connect to the schema also. It will retrieve all the values which are there in which table? EMP table. From there what will happen? You will get it into your program now. Means from secondary memory it will be retrieved into what? Primary memory. So once so many values, how many values you got now? Nearly 15 values you got. In every row you are having 3 values. This is one row, 101 Rajesh 1000, 3 values. Next row, 102 Ramesh 2000. So many values are there. Like that you can have more values. Assume that I am having 20 rows, 30 rows. So imagine how many rows will be there. So those many values will be there. So all these values they are entry into your Java program now. Because you are told return the query. What you have written? Select star from ENP, all the values will be retrieved. Once it is retrieved, now these many values, how it will be stored in primary memory now? There should be one way of organizing it now. So what happens is, yes, this result set is an object which will organize and hold all the values now. It is an object. RS now means result set object is an object which will organize and hold all the values in a systematic manner. Means this is one virtual table now which is present where? In data. That is a different table, that is secondary memory leave now. But once you have retrieved the values also, one same kind of table is there in what? Result set. So we will be actually retrieving the values from where? Result set. Means we will start processing the values from this result set object. So here you have got all the values 101, 102, 103, 104, 105. Yeah, so what is there in the database? Same things are retrieved here. No difference. So when you execute your query will hit the database, retrieve the values, and these values are well organized in your Java program also. It is well organized, it's not scattered. So when you get so many values, you should know, like in the primary memory values will, if it is not organized like this, it would have been scattered. But now it is well organized in what format? Tabular format only. Okay, and all that, these entire values there in a single object called as result set. This one object will contain all these values. Understood? Now let's see. So you got the values. Now what is my requirement? I have to print to the console now. I have to print now what I should print. 101 Ramesh 1000. Similarly 102 Rajesh 2000. I have to print all these values. Yes or no? Not only that, all the 5 rows I have to print. I have just written here 2. So this is the output I want. So I have to connect, retrieve values, then I have to do the output. So yes, let's see how do you do that. See this. First I will show you how to retrieve only one row and print. First I will show you how to retrieve only one row and print. So for that I will say rs.next. So next is a method present in which one now? Result set. Next is a method which is present in result set. I will call that. See right now when you have got the result set now, in this result set object there will be one cursor. This is what I am trying to draw here. in the result set object there will be one cursor. This cursor will be by default pointing to the before first row. So how many rows are there now actually? In your result set 5 rows are there. Why? Because in database you had 5 rows, here also having what? 5 rows. So yes, see this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows you are having. But the cursor in the result set which is present is pointing to before first row we say. We'll never say 0th row. 0th row is also one way correct, but technically speaking we should always say before first row. Understood? So instead of saying 0th row we always say what? Before first row. So the cursor is pointing here. Where are the actual values? The actual values are present in the first row now. So that is why I'll say rs dot next. As soon as you say rs dot next, what happens? The cursor moves from that position to the first row. It will move. So the cursor has moved. From the first row, I can get the values from the columns. So first visit the row, then you can retrieve the values from the columns. Understood? So once I push it to the first row, I'm getting only the values from the first row now. Later on I'll get the values from all the rows. Understood? So I'll push it to the first row. So once I get it, see rs dot get int I'll say. Okay, this is one more method. In result set, one more method is there called as get int. Okay, so here I can go with the index number, means the column number. Okay, means the first column. rs dot get int of 1 means I'm telling get me the value from the first column. And see here, because this is of type int, I'm saying get int. In the database, this column is of type what data type? Number. When I create the table now, it would have been of type number. So since it is of type number, I am saying get int. Understood? Fine. Next. So I am going to retrieve it. So once I get it, the return type of this is int. So I will store it in a variable by name id. Understood? I store it in a variable by name id. So now see, from the database I retrieved the values, and in the primary memory I am holding it in what? A variable by name id. Next, I got only the first which record now? This one. Still so many values are there. I'll get the next ones here. rs dot get string. I can get the value of the name also. Means second column. First row, second column. We are already in the row. Only have to get the value from the column now. So I can go with either, again I can say 2. It will retrieve the value. Okay. You can say 2 and you will get the value because it's in the second column. So I'll write string name. Understood? So similarly, I can also say rs dot the third column now. Get int of, I can say 3. Or one more option is there. I can go with the name like this. The name of the column. Whatever name of the column you have given here now in the database, you can use that. Either you go with the number of column, first column, second column, third column, or you go with the name. Instead of 1, 2, I could have written what? Employee ID, name, like that also I could have done. So anyway, the return type of this is what? Again, string. Sorry, int. Get, it is, see, if it is number here, it will be get int. If it is varchar here, we will be saying get string. Again, salary is of type what? Number. So it is get int. So this will also become int sal. So you got the retrieved values from what? First row. And this, if you want, you can print SOP. What I will print? ID. Then SOP name. SOP salary. You can print all the records. But this will print only for what? First row. Now next I have to print the second row values now. So again I have to tell what? We are in the first row. We have to push the cursor to second row. Understood? So again I have to say rs dot next and write all this code. Then again I have to say rs dot next and write all this code. Now who knows how many rows are there? 5 rows, okay. If there are 25 rows, can you go on telling again and again rs dot next? It will be practically impossible. So what we do, we can set a loop. For this we can set a loop now. How will you set the loop? While rs dot next, set the loop. Entire thing you put it in a loop now, while loop. Now what will happen? Let's see this. See, why I'm using while loop is to print all the values, nothing else. Understood? If you don't put while loop, it will print only one row. Then again you have to say rs dot next and do the same thing. So now let's see, if you put a while loop, what happens? See, rs dot next, the return type of rs dot next is a boolean value. Okay, means rs dot next will push the cursor to the first row. It will push. It will push to the next row. If the row is present, if it is present, the return type of that is true. Means, clearly understand, it is pushing cursor moves. Cursor is definitely moving when you say r is dot next. But it will be true only when the row is present. So fine, it is present. See, the cursor moved from, I'm again starting from the beginning, you got the result set. It pushed, we got the values from the first row, it printed. So after printing, again while loop continues, r is dot next moves. After moving, what it checks? Is there a record? Yes. If true, again it will print. From where? Second row. So again third row, it will move. R is dot next, it will move. Again what it will do? Print means r is dot next, it moves. Is there a row? Yes. If it is there, what it will do? True. And then again it will execute. Like that it goes on. So it goes to fourth row, it goes to fifth row. After printing fifth row, again it will iterate. R is dot next. Cursor moves. Cursor is moving. Understood? After moving, it checks, is there a record? No. So now while false, quits. Understood? So here cursor will move, and if the record is there, then the return type will be true. Cursor is first moving. If record is present, then the return type will be true. Like that, it will print all the records. Done? So that's it. It will print all the records now. So what was my intention? Connect to database, retrieve the values, print it to console. Finished, over now. So here I am using SOP, means to print to the Java console. If I want to print it to user interface, one different methodology I will use. Other than that, nothing else. But rest all code will be same. Means you are talking from back-end point of view. Only front-end we need. That will come over. Don't worry. So are you clear with this much? Yes. So I got so many resources opened now. There are so many resources opened. One resource is called as connection. The other one is called as statement. The other one is called as result set. So all these are resources in your program. So you written the code. You got established connection. They are very powerful resources. And all these resources have to be closed in your program. Otherwise, if you don't close the resources, the performance of your application will drastically come down. So I'll continue the coding. See, I'll continue from here. So you have to close the resources now, but close it in the reverse order. Means first close result set, then you close is a method now. Where is the method? Present in result set. Next, close statement. Statement dot close. Then you close what? Connection. So always close in this order only. Reverse order. First close result set, then close statement, then close connection. Okay. Now you might ask a question, why? Why should I close the resources like that only? Directly if I close connection dot close, what will happen? Understood? So for that I'll give one simple general knowledge example. Understand there only. I get simple common sense. Supposingly there is one house now. If there is in that house, if there are around 5 to 6 doors, I'll enter through the main door first. After the main door, I'll enter, next I'll go to first door. So I'll open the first door. Then to enter, I'll enter second door. Then to enter means I start opening one by one the doors. So finally, if I want to come back, I have to close all the doors and come back. Directly, I can't come out and close the first door. What will I do? From the back, I'll start closing. Fifth door first, then fourth door, then third door. So that's the normal way we do it in real life. Here also, we have to adapt the same approach. Okay, directly you can say con dot close, directly one line, but it is not advisable. It is always recommended to close the resources one by one in the reverse order like this. Understood? So that's why I am saying first which one is the last one? Result set, close it. Then which one I will close? Means you have to continue. I am continuing the code. It is getting continued. Understood? After these lines, write this. Are you clear with this? So that's it, your program is over. You got the connection, retrieve the resources, process the you got the connection, retrieved the values, process the values, you printed it to console, and then you closed all the resources. That's it. Okay, but when you are coding this, there are some exceptions which will occur. Now last part now. Okay, coding is over, that's it. Only you have to write all this code in what? Try catch block, because there are some exceptions which will occur. Other than that, nothing else. So whenever you code this, see this for name method is there now. This method throws an exception called as class not found exception. So it is a checked exception. So either you have to write what? Try catch, or you have to write throws. So either I can write public static void main throws. That is one option for you. Or I can catch that exception in the same method, which one main method. So I will do it here itself. Try means, see this is try block. From here to here, assume that this is try block fully. Understood? So then I'll have catch block. So what is the first exception? Class not found exception. Understood? The code is continuing. This is all code is there in what? Try block. Understood? So So try block. Then next what will I do? Yeah, you have handled that exception. Now see these methods what you are using, get connection, create statement, execute query. These method also will throw an exception called as what? SQL exception. So that is also a checked exception. So it will force you to write either try catch or throws. It will force you. It's a checked exception. So what will I do again? I'll add one more catch block. Catch means class not found exception, write it fully. I'm not having space. Class not found exception, write it fully. I think I've shown you this exception long back. Fine. Okay, this is a new exception what you'll be seeing. SQL exception. I'll write it and I code it, you'll understand. So one more exception which will occur is SQL exception. So that also I'll write SQL exception it is. So if you want to write it fully, I'll write it here. See this, I don't have space. Anyway, I'll code it and show it to you. Class not found exception, SQL exception. That's it. So that is all your program is. Yeah. So this is the first I told theoretically. Then I explained it with code. But end of the day I have to code it and show it to you to get the output. So now I'll code and show you the same program and how you have to code. All that I'll show it to you. Okay, follow the same steps how I code. Even though it looks so simple. Okay, here to get the output little bit, first time you have to put little effort. Only then you'll get the output. Understood? So I'll just show you all this how to code and then we'll get the output now. There any questions here? You got the idea what I'm trying to do? What I'm trying to do is clear now. Coding is secondary. Because in Java you have to always understand, means generally not only in Java, all of you want to write code. But what code you want to write you don't know. But you want to write logic. That is your major problem. So end of the day you should know what code you want to write. Based on that we code. Simply you tell I want to write logic, I want to write logic. What logic you want to write? Question is that. So depending on your logic what will happen? We write the code. But in Java again we don't write the code, we go on calling what? Methods. Because all logics are ready-made in Java. That is the beauty of Java. We don't even write a single line of code. Understood? So I'll code it and show it to you. So fine. Anyway, before coding, first what I will show you is, see this coding will be done. Are you clear with the result set also now? Okay, fine. See this coding will be done, that's not a problem now. First I have to prepare the database now. In the database what I should do now? I have to create one schema by name Ravi Oracle. Then I have to create one table. Then I have to, in that table I have to fill values. Once these values are ready, then I can write a Java program to connect now, to retrieve the values. So first what I will be doing now? First I will be doing all this setup. Which one? Database setup. Okay. So shall I clear all this now? See, to code now, we need some softwares, and the different softwares I'll be using are, one is Java 6 I'm using version, second would be Oracle 10G, and the third would be Eclipse. These are the three softwares I'll be using to code now. So if you are directly, see some people might be directly joining JDBC. So if you are directly joining JDBC, please understand that these three softwares are very essential. Others who are following the course from the beginning, no problem. But those who are joined in the middle now, these three softwares I'll be using for this now. Which one? For writing this code now. Understood? So now you should know how to install also. Anyway, installation process and all I have completed. For Java also I have completed, Oracle also I have completed, as well as Eclipse also I have shown to you. Clear? So I have shown you the installation process also. So if you are coming directly to JDBC, it is well assumed that you know about all these softwares and also how to install them. Done? Oracle 10G, Java 6, fine. See, from now, okay, from JDBC, so I'll be following on folder structure. Okay, you also follow it in the same way. Here what I'll do is, I got one D drive. In D drive, I'm having one folder called as Ravi Kumar. Even if you are coding in our lab, you can create your own name like this, if you are coding in our lab. But if you are coding in your laptop, instead of Ravi Kumar, anyway you are coding in your own laptop, you don't have to give the name. Better is you can give something like cluster. Means all your examples will be there in a single folder. because you might have other folders now. In D drive you might have other folders. Better you create one folder by name, cluster. So it's your wish. So just I'm explaining the folder structure now because we are going to follow this from now. So be careful. D drive Ravi Kumar. Where? When you are coding in lab. I will be using this only. Understood? Or your name you can give if you are coding here in our institute. But if you are coding in your laptop, you can say it as D drive cluster. That's it. Where? In your laptop. Now this is the convention I am following. But if you are having your own convention, better convention, you can do it. Understood? It means in your laptop instead of cluster, if you want to give any other name also, do it. Not an issue. Understood now? So this is the convention what we will be following. So in D drive Ravi Kumar, next what I will do is, I will create one folder called as JDBC examples. So this becomes the workspace. This becomes the workspace, and in this workspace I'll have all the projects. This is where? In lab. But in your laptop it will become what? D drive cluster JDBC examples. Only instead of my name you'll be going with cluster. That's it. Clear? So follow this structure. It will be helpful now. So yes, so you can see now again I'm coming back. So I opened the Explorer, I got D drive there. In D drive what I'll be doing? Ravi Kumar is there already. So whatever we had coded in the earlier classes, I kept it in two folders, core Java and database. But right now I'll be creating a new folder called as JDBC examples. So this becomes what now? Workspace. Understood? So fine. So open your Eclipse here now. Understood? So open your Eclipse here. This is how you'll open Eclipse. See, behind the scene dot metadata is not there. So once I open it, okay, paste it. Now see, that dot metadata gets created. So this is where you're going to code all the Java projects now. Means the JDBC examples. Close this. Now come to Java mode. This is all Eclipse, man. So close these two. Okay, means keep your screen neat and clean now. Here we'll start coding. But as I told you, before we code, what we need? Before I write Java, I need database now. I need table now. Yes. So first we'll work with this environment is okay. Now we have to first create the table. Let's see now how will you do it. So yes, see, I already installed Oracle here. Okay. So when you have installed Oracle, okay, to Oracle, to work with Oracle now, to work with the Oracle database, the Oracle 10G database is giving you one client. Instead of typing in the SQL prompt, traditional old style, how do you type? Windows. Generally this is how you would have coded in college days and all that with Oracle. How do you code? You will type SQL plus, press enter, like this you will work. Whatever the username, password. This is very difficult to work. Okay, so that's why Oracle 10G what it did, it gave you one more client called as Apex client. So there to code and all now means you are writing your queries here now. Earlier SQL prompt. So but it's very difficult to work. So that is why what is Oracle database doing? It's giving you one more client to work with the database. That is called as Apex client. All this I have covered in database. For more information you can go through database classes. Understood? So now I'll work with that. I'll use that Apex now. So I'll go with all programs. In all programs I'll click on Oracle 10G. Here see, this is the shortcut. Go to database home page. It will open up this page now. It is not opening up. Yeah, just refresh it. Okay, if it doesn't open, just refresh. See, this is the screen you'll get. So you are using this screen to interact with database rather than that which one? Old style. Which one old style I showed you now? Yeah, SQL plus this screen. Okay, this is much better. That's all. It's a different client to work with database. So what will I do here now? So here, first, see, some seniors are coming from earlier classes. They know what is schema, how to create it, how to drop it. But those who are joined newly, Okay, for direct JDBC, I'm just showing you only one part of it. What? How to create a schema. Only that part I show you now. So to create a schema in Oracle database, first you have to log in as an admin. There is an admin called as system. Okay, so there is already one schema by name system in the database, and he is the admin. So when you are installing database, you would have got this screen. Means this is only a screenshot. I'm just showing you. When you are installing database, you'll get on screen like this. Something which says see Oracle 10G Express Edition installation. Okay, so it will tell the enter and confirm password for the database, and this password will be used for two schemas. One is sys and one more is system. But here understand that system is the admin. From this admin schema or user you can create other schemas. So the password we have given during installation is cluster. Here we have given it. So otherwise, if you, while installing database, if you have given whatever password, use that password to log into what now? System. Okay, are you clear with this? So here while installing, what is the password you have given? Cluster. By chance, if you have already installed password, means which one? Database in your computer, you should remember that password and use that password to log in now. So now see this. So what is the username? System. And what is the password? Cluster. So yes, I have logged into system schema now. In system schema, go to administration and go to database users, and in that click on manage users. It will show you the different schemas already present here. See, there are three schemas present. One by name HR, one by name Ravi Oracle, one by name Scott. These schemas I had created when I was teaching Oracle. Pure Oracle I was teaching now. That time I had created. So right now what I will do is the same schema which on Ravi Oracle, I will delete it and then again I will create it. Okay, so see this, I click on that, then say alter user, sorry, back. So click on that, say drop. Just I'll come back again. So you click on Ravi, once you got the screen, Ravi Oracle, drop you click. So once you drop, just select this option, cascade, because there are some tables already existing there. Okay, so and say drop user, so it is deleted. Understood? Now you have to create one schema. Schema user, both same, there is no difference. Okay, that's one terminology. So now I can create. So how will you create now? Again come back to, or you can go here only, see here, create, click. It will ask what is the schema you want to create. So I will say I want to create a schema by name Ravi Oracle. So always see, when you are working in database, follow convention, use caps. Understood? So username I give it as Ravi Oracle. I can give it in small case also. Better you go with uppercase whenever you are working with database. What is the password? Better give it same, otherwise you will forget it. Just tendency of forgetting it. Confirm password Ravi Oracle. Now see, now can I give any other name other than Ravi Oracle? Yes, you can give it, because see, end of the day this name I will be using in what? My program, JDBC program. So in your JDBC program, if you look at this name, you should know what it is actually. So it should be very clear that it is a schema in Oracle database now. So that is why I have given some suffix called as Oracle, some prefix also called as Ravi. If I give only Ravi now and if I use it in my program, you will not understand. Similarly, if I give only Oracle and use it in my program, again you will get confused. You will think I have to give Oracle only, like that you will start thinking. So that's why to just to give you some naming convention I am following, so that you understand the subject very clearly. Okay, so the username is going to be Ravi Oracle. Understood? For MySQL I will give what? Ravi MySQL. Like that. Means in every database we will go on to create what? Schemas. So follow this convention so that it will be easy for you to code later. Understood? So Ravi Oracle, yes. So already I have shown you, but still see, click on DBA and click on check all. All this will be selected and just say create now. So now you can see it has got created. Yes, but right now I am still logged in as what? You can see here on the top. I have logged in as what? System. But I want a table to be created where? In Ravi Oracle. So what I will do? Log out and you log in as what now? Ravi Oracle. Yes? Just now you created now. Log in there. You are logged in. See, now the user is changed. Ravi Oracle. So in that user what you have to do? Create the table by name what? EMP. We have to create a table. So how will I do now? SQL commands, enter command. So click on the screen. This is all I have taught how to work. So you'll get the screen now. So start creating your table now. So how you create? See this, caps lock on, create table EMP. So what are the columns we are going to have here? Employee underscore ID. So what will be the data type? Number. And how many size you want? 5. Next, name. Fine. The data type will be of type varchar 2. Size will be 30. Then next, salary. Data type is of type number. It will be of 6. Size 6 digits. Fine. 1 second. Create spelling wrong is there. Create table EMP employee ID. Fine. Now I'll run this query now. Run. So you can see here, table created. The message comes out. Table has been successfully created. See, I'll just open again. I'll go to home. Open. Or okay, 1 second. Yeah, home. Open in new tab. So in this new tab, again, see object browser you go. Browse tables. Earlier there are no tables, but once I created the table, this table has got created. And in this table you see data. There are no data. There is no data. So now I start filling the data. Only if data is there, I can retrieve it in my program now. So start filling the data now. So how you do it? So again, come to this one now. Just start writing the query now. How you write? Insert into EMP values 101 Rajesh 1000. So this is one way you can write the query. Run the query. Yes, one row inserted. Now come back and refresh here and check. You can see it here. As I go on inserting the records, the table is growing now. So again, I want to insert one more record. We need 5 rows now. So I'll start first. 102 Ramesh. His salary is 2000. Fine. So again run the query. Yes, one more row inserted. Go there, check data. Yes. So it goes on inserting. So fill 5 rows there. So then next, see, you can write the queries like this also, but it is not advisable to write the query like that. It is always advisable to write the queries in this way. I taught you in database. Insert into employee underscore ID, name, comma, salary, values. Yes, no. 103. Yes. The next one is Ganesh. And the next record means his salary is 3000. So run. Yes, again one row is inserted. Go check. Yes. Now you can go on seeing the records are getting inserted. Understood? So first insert all the records. So 3, then next 4th one. 4th one is Revati. Again it's inserted, just check. Yeah, it is inserted. Then the last one will insert. 105, it is Ravi. Salary is 5000. Yes, again this row also got inserted. Done. So these records are there. So see, you have to commit whatever you inserted, commit already has happened. Anyway, all statements are automatically committed, but still commit it. Understood? So it is done. So you have the database, you have the table in the database. So now I have tried what? Java program to retrieve it from database and display it in Java console. Understood? So let us keep this open. Yes, as I had explained to you the photo structure, you remember this now? What did I do? D drive, Ravi Kumar, JDBC example, I got JDBC example. So this is where we are going to code now. Yes, we have opened this for which one? Workspace. So in this workspace, I'll create the first project now. So the project is going to be called as what? New Java project 01 simple. Okay, here small case use. simple JDBC. You can give any name, but just I'm giving a meaningful name. I'm going to interact with Oracle now, so simple JDBC Oracle. Any name like this you give, because tomorrow I'll connect with MySQL. So that time it will become simple JDBC MySQL. So like that, one on project names if you give clearly, tomorrow you'll only understand what is what. So fine, finished. So the project has been created. In this project, next what will you do now? New what? Package com.cluster. Create a package. Done. So now next, see we are only coding Java now, nothing else. Okay, so here I'll have one class now called as what? JDBC. You can give any name. Oracle demo. It's a demo class with main method, nothing else. Yeah, now we have to start coding. So just I'll increase the font size. So the first line I am coding now. The first line what I am coding is class dot for name. See, as soon as I type drop, I will give the drop down now Eclipse. So there are two for name methods. It's overloaded. I am using the for name with what? String class name. I have to pass one string now. So I will pass a string, but this should be a valid string now. Okay. So what is the value of the string? Oracle dot JDBC dot driver dot Oracle driver. No, don't make spelling mistakes. Follow Java conventions, you'll never make mistakes. Oracle, it should be small because it's a package. All packages in Java are what? Small case. So it's well understood. Oracle, small. JDBC is also a package, sub-package. Driver is what? Sub-package. Oracle driver is a class. So Oracle driver is a class in this package. Understood? So fine, I have written everything correctly, but still I am getting an error. Why? Because for name method throws an exception. Which exception it throws? So for name method, actually see here, it throws it returns the runtime. Fine. Anyway, it throws the exception. It is not fine. It throws an exception. So what you have to do? It's giving you the error. So you have to surround it with what? Either you have to write try catch or refer to Java docs. There it will be clearly telling you. Understood? So quick fix. So what I have to do? Two options. Either write add throws, but I want to handle the exception in the same method, or I can give it to the caller method. But main is the first caller now, so I'll write what? Try catch. I don't want the exception to go outside main method. I want to handle it within the main. So I'll write surround with try catch. Automatically this will come out now. What? Class not found exception. Understood? So fine. So here what you do? You can have your own print statement. Exception. See, I started coding, and coding is not as simple as you were thinking in the earlier Java programs. See here, just 4 lines, but how many things will happen? So I have said class.forName and I have written the code. Yes, now I will start execute the code and see whether it is working or not. So let me run this code. So it is not executing. It says class not found exception. See the error? Exception caught. My message. Okay. Exception caught. My message is there. See whatever I have written, that is coming. Plus E. What is that E is? It's of type java.lang.class not found exception. Fine. So but what is it? It's saying I am unable to find the class. It is not finding the class called as oracle.jdbc.driver.oracle driver. You are trying to load this. But where is this class? Question is that now. Okay, see, it is not executing. Just I am showing you one more. I put on SOP, see there. Sys out. You can print something. Driver has been, driver is loaded. Something you print. Now execute. See this SOP, this print statement will not happen because as soon as the exception occurs here, As soon as the exception is occurring where? Here, automatically control will go to what? Catch block, and this print will not be executed. Check out. So that clearly shows the code is not working properly. Same error. So you are still not seeing this output. What? Driver is loaded. So what to do now? You have to load it. Means you have to supply this class now. But where is this class? As I told you, definitely it is not there in rt.jar. Because in rt.jar you have got only what? Sun supplied classes. In rt.jar till now you are coding. What all you coded? See, I have used some classes here. Class, system, class not found exception. These are all built-in classes I am using. Agreed. But these built-in classes are coming from where? Lang package. These are all built-in classes present in Lang package. Lang present in, how is Java giving you the Lang package? rt.jar. rt.jar means runtime.jar. During Java installation I showed you all this. What is rt.jar? See here, when I created the folder, this project, you can see simple JDBC, SRC is there. JRE system library is there. Notice that. In JRE system library, rt.jar is there. Understood? If you want, you can extract rt.jar and see what is there in that jar file. It is having, see, I'm just clicking there. It is having so many packages, not one, not two. These many packages are there in what? rt.jar. In this packages, I have shown you few packages. Which one? IO package I have covered for you. Lang package I have covered for you. Reflect package I covered for you. Okay, like this some. Then I have covered util package. Now I am trying to cover which one? SQL package, like that. See, I'll open util and show. In util package, collections class I thought, calendar class I thought, so many classes, array list. So these are all classes present in util package. Util package, fine. Okay, then next, if you want to work with string, where is that now? Java dot, I can go with lang. See, you are using system class here, you are using class, so many things you are using. Okay, where are they? It is there in class. Then what? String class, system class, all are here. But where is this again? In lang package. But finally, where are all these? I have extracted. It is there in rt.jar. Are you any place seeing oracle.jdbc package here? Not seeing it. Now where is it? So this class, see, there are some dot class files. Means end of the day dot class files are nothing but what? They contain code. End of the day they are built-in classes provided to us by someone. String.class, whatever you are seeing, system.class. Instead of we writing the code from the scratch, who is giving this dot class files to you? Somebody is giving. Who is that somebody? Sun people. Similarly, not only Sun, there are many people who will give you dot class files. This is the first time you are coming across it. Okay, but from as the course progresses now, you start seeing Hibernate, Spring, all that. So these are all dot class files given by your time by some other person. So which, and if you want to use that, it is not there in rt.jar. So you have to add that jar now into your project. If you add that jar into your project, now this problem will be resolved. Otherwise you will keep on getting the same problem. First line only is not executing. Understood? So coding JDBC needs experience. Understood? So follow carefully. So I got this error. Are you clear with this? See, again I am showing you the error. First line, it is still not executing. So how do I resolve this? So for this I need a jar file. And as I told you, yes, this dot class, I know with experience. I am telling you with experience now, not by hearting. Understood? So I know that it is present in one jar file called as ojdbc14.jar. And you don't have to by heart. What is ojdbc14 and all? Understood? O stands for Oracle. J stands for Java Database Connectivity. 14 is on version number. Okay, so Oracle Java Database Connectivity 14.jar. Java means what? Java archive files, compressed file. So it is in this jar file you will find the dot class. So that is with experience we know that. Okay, fine. I know it is there in this jar file. But where is this jar file now? It is not given to by Sun. Means after installing Java version, see, you have installed Java. In C drive, program files, Java is there. Go and search wherever you want here, JDK, lib. You will not be finding what? ojdbc14.jar. So it is given to by whom now? Oracle. So it is in that, it is given to you by Oracle people. And when it is given to you by Oracle people, how will you get it now? You have installed Oracle now in your computer. It is there. In whose folder? Oracle folder it is present now. So you have to go to Oracle folder and get that jar file now. So let's get that jar file now. Are you following what I am doing? I have to see, I need a jar file for this project. For this jar, for the project I have to give the jar file. Now how will I give? See this. So it is not there in Java program. But the same here, I will come back. Yes, in C drive, I will not go to program files and Java. Instead what I will do? In C drive I have installed Oracle now. I have installed Oracle. So in Oracle exe, there is a folder called as application. Application, Oracle, product, 10.2, server, JDBC, lib. So here you will find this OJDBC 14.jar. Either you can search, right click on the Oracle exe folder and search OJDBC, you will get it. Or you write down the path now. I will give you the path where it is. /OJDBC 14.jar. This is a very important path. So I'll put it on the, see, just it is here, Windows R, I'll put it in Notepad for you. See, location. See, location of OJDBC 14.jar file. Are you following now? Where it is? C drive, Oracle exe, app, Oracle, it is in this location. Either you search or you note down this path. So this jar file is required now. So see, so what I have to do is I have to add the jar. See, you come to this one now, Eclipse. Okay, you have to add it now. How will you add? There is one process I show you how to add. But tomorrow also you need that jar file. Day after means you will go on coding many projects. And in every project you need, because you will write the same code. For every project what you will do? You need the jar file. So again and again you can't go on to that location. So that's why what we do, see this approach we take here. Follow the standard now. In C drive, okay, you create one folder by name, my jars. You can give any name, but follow all this convention and let it be in caps. My jars. Create one folder. In this, because see, we will be using lot of jar files now, like Hibernate jar, Spring jar, so many. So all the jars will maintain it in one location, otherwise it will be confusing for us. So in my jars, what will I do is, I will create one more folder. Now you do it in small case. Oracle jars. Add the suffix jars. Otherwise you will think I have to name it as Oracle only. Understood? So just to give you clarity, I am putting that suffix my jars, suffix or prefix. Means any name you can give. Oracle jars, any name you can give. Now you got that which one? Jar now. Copy this. Copy this, close it off now, not required. So what you do, you put it in Oracle jars now. Understood what I did? So where is the OJD? I copied, I didn't cut paste. Control C and I pasted it here. So in C drive, carefully notice I am closing again and opening everything. Windows C, C drive, it is actually present in Oracle exe. That I have copied and pasted into my jars. In my jars I put it in Oracle jars, because every time I want to use it, I can't go on to that location. So that is fine. Now fine, it is there, we know that. Now that jar is required for my project now. Because why do I need that jar? Because in that jar this dot class file is present now. Understood? It is present, I'll show you. So I'll add now. How will I add? See this. This is the way you add jar. Now look at this folder structure, how it will change. So right now what you are seeing there, 01 simple JDBC Oracle, this one thing. Second thing what you are seeing is SRC. Third thing what you are seeing is JRE system library. Now one more new thing you will be seeing there, referenced libraries. See that carefully, how it will get created. See what I'll do. So follow these steps. See, I am teaching you, this is a very important step. Okay, steps to add jars to your projects. Steps to add jars to your project. Keep it in some location. After keeping it, you have to link now. You are kept, see, you are coding this project in which drive? See, where is the project, your project now? It is there in D drive. I just now showed you. D drive, Ravi Kumar, JDBC example. But you have kept the jar in C drive. You have to link now. Your jar has to be supplied to your project. So how will I do? See this. Right click. Properties. Understand? I am linking here. Properties. Click on Java build path. You will get the screen. Understand? Then click on libraries. Then click on add external jars. Clear? Add external jars. So actually it is already showing, but actually assume that it was something like this. So what you do, go to C drive, in that scroll, select it, my jars, Oracle jars, JDBC 14. Are you clear this? So again I'll repeat it here, how it will happen. Right click, properties, Java build path, libraries, add external jars. Anyway I have already moved. Let's scroll. So select OJDBC14.jar and say open and say OK. Now see what got created, reference libraries. Earlier it was not there. And in reference libraries what you can see? OJDBC14.jar. Means it is there in your project now. Okay, from where it is pointing, you can see the pointer, where it is pointing to. C drive, my jars, Oracle. It is linked to your project now. Fine. Now means your project can use the classes in this jar file. Yes. Let's extract this also and see. Extract it. Click here. See, it's extracted. And now, I told you this was the package now, oracle.jdbc.driver. Yes. See here the same package is there, oracle.jdbc.driver. Yes or no? In this package, we are trying to use which class? Oracle driver. See here, scroll. Are you following now? Oracle driver. See this. So now it is applied to your project. Understood? Are you clear this? So I'll compress, again I'll compress. If you want you can go through like that. Just extract it, you can find it here, oracle.jdbc.driver. So this class is not given to you by some people. If it was given to you by some people it would have been in rt.jar. Understood? So it is given to you by Oracle people. Why they have given, why we are using, all that story full I'll tell you in detail. Today, bother only about getting output, don't bother about anything. It's something like you're writing the first Java program, hello world. Understood? Just get your output. From tomorrow you'll start seeing internally how all these things are working. Step by step I'll clear all your doubts which you are getting. So anyway, so this is done now. So once it is done, let us execute the program. Now let's see. See, to debug an error I have done so much of circus. Understood? A driver is loaded, means exception has not occurred. Yes or no? Earlier what was the error you are getting? Class not found exception. So since the project was not able to find the dot class, I supplied the dot class to the project. That's all I did, nothing more I did. Understood? But I found out now that dot class is there in OJDBC14.jar, that is there in Oracle folder. From Oracle folder, what did I do? For tomorrow easy usage. Tomorrow I need it for all projects now. So I kept it, I created one folder called as my jars in C drive, and in C drive, okay, I have kept Oracle. So whenever I want now, I start using that jar file from here itself. In any project from now on, you will use it from here itself. Done? Fine. So this is done. Okay, next. What is the next statement now? Connection con is equal to driver manager dot get connection. So CONNECT connection. Yes, control space. Sorry. Connection control space. Yes. I want to use this. What is this? I stands for interface. Eclipse clearly tells I is interface, C is class, like that. And I want to use it from the SQL package. So press enter. See now we have started using classes from the SQL package. It is imported. See on the top, import java.sql.connection. Fine. So I am importing. Then next con is one variable name. Con is a variable of type connection. So next driver manager is equal to, one second. Yeah, driver manager. See again, control space, it will import. This is also class present in what? SQL package. Till now you are using classes all in lang package. That you don't need to import. But any other class from any other package you have to import now. I started importing. Connection con is equal to driver manager dot get connection is equal to driver manager dot get connection. So I'll write get connection. So get connection, there are three methods. Carefully notice. This is first method, second method, third method. So first method requires only one string. Second method requires two arguments. Third method requires three arguments, and all of type string only. So I am using the third method. Yes. Next, I have to give what? URL, UID, PWD. Yes. What is the URL now? Just tell now. JDBC : I have given you now. That you have to write. JDBC colon Oracle colon thin colon @ of. See, leave this part, that you leave. This part you leave. These three things I'll explain you later. But now see, your program wants to connect to database now. This is my program. So I want to connect to database. Where is the database? It is in same computer, localhost, or you can use the IP address. If you know the IP address, give it, or you can just say localhost. Then colon, what you have to give? In the computer, where is it installed? In port number 1521. See, your program wants to connect now. Understood? 1521. And in 1521, in that port number it will connect now. Now you are connected only to the database. But I have to connect to first instance. So the instance name is what? XC. So we are connected to the instance now. Fine. Next you have to give the username, password. So what is the username? It is Ravi Oracle. You can give it in caps. See, database, everything is case insensitive. Understood? Database, everything is case insensitive. So I have to write Ravi Oracle. You can give it in uppercase or small case, no issues. Yeah, what is the password next? So give the password and the username which you had created for the schema. So done. So you have sent 3 arguments, everything is perfect, but still it is giving you error. Why? Why? This method also throws what? Exception. Get connection method also throws what? Unhandled exception, SQL. So you have to fix it now. How will you fix? By writing try catch or throws. So there are 3 options you got here. Add throws, or add catch clause to surrounding try, or surround with try catch. If you click surround with try catch, inside try catch will be created. So that I don't want. I don't want throws also. For existing try, what I want? Catch block. So I'll go with right click, quick fix. I'll go with add catch clause to surrounding try. So this is how you'll fix it. Everything perfect. Okay. But one thing, let me tell you some more things here. Okay. So now if you do this much, you'll get the connection. So let's print one more statement. Yes, let's see whether you got the connection. Just 2 lines. You're seeing how much of things we are learning here. Yes, you got the database connection. Understood now? So all this is perfect. But now some more thing I'll talk from industry point of view. Okay. See what I've given here, you understood. 3 values I've given. What 3 values? URL, UID, PWD I've given. So you're clear with URL. You're clear with user ID, you're clear with password. This is okay. This is the schema name which I created. I'm connecting to my schema. These 3 things you don't worry. I'll be explaining you later. But these are the most essential things you require. So if your application and database are in same computer, you'll use localhost. But if your application and database are in different computer, you'll use that IP address. Understood? So next, means wherever your database is installed, this value should be wherever your database is installed. Your database is installed in the current machine, so I said localhost. Then next, in the same computer, the port, it's been installed in port number 1521 and the name of the instance is XC. So all this, when you are installing, understood, Oracle, you can see one instance by name XC when you are installing. Fine. But by chance if you have forgotten, or every time you can't remember this, by chance if you forget or something like that, I'll give you an easy option to remember. From industry point of view, I'm telling you. Understood? See what you do, these 3 information you can find it in one file. In fact, when I was teaching you Oracle pure database, I had shown you where you can find these 3 files, these 3 information. I had also told you when I was teaching you database, Oracle database, these 3 values are required to connect to a database from any program. I told you. So that again I'm revisiting and showing you. So go to C drive. I'm showing you the location of where these values you can find. C drive. Okay, go to Oracle EXE, application, Oracle, product, 10.2, server, network admin, yes, this file, which file? Slash tns names dot ORA file. I'll copy it, 1 second. Just see this. I'll open it with something like open. You can open it with notepad or something. See, this is how it looks. Understood? In this tns names.ora, that's the file name. You'll find all the information. Host. Where is the database installed? New class 1. That is the name of the computer we have given. Either you go with the computer name or you go with the IP address. Or if it is same computer, you can go with localhost. This one. Then what you are saying? Port number 1521. And what is the service name? XC. So these 3 values you can get it from where? TNS names start, or if you have forgotten. So in companies also they will be referring to this file. So it's a very, very, very important file, and the location of the TNS names.ora file I'll show you now. Which I'll give it to you. So we have opened one notepad here. I'll paste it there only. Location of, is a very important file for getting database connection. Right now, because I'm guiding you, it is easy. Sometimes when you forget it, refer to that. This is the location. Yeah, it is there in that location. In the admin folder, you'll find it. 3 values. But username, password means schema name, password you should know. That will not be displayed. Okay, how will you come to know which schema you want to connect? If you want to find out the different schemas available in your database, log into system. There you will come to know all the schemas present. If you log into as admin, the admin will tell you all the schemas present. Like that, identify everything. Understood? And give those values here. So nothing to by heart. Everything will become very easy for you. Understood? Here you don't have to worry anything, and automatically all this will come to you in a very smooth manner. Since it is first a little bit more things we are seeing here. Okay, fine. So I got the DB connection. Are you clear with where is that jar file and where is this TNS names.ora? What is this? What it contains? Fine. All this okay now. Next. So we have got the database connection. So next what we have to do now? Next what you have to do? 2 steps over. So step 1. Is what? Load the database driver. 2 steps will only trouble you so much. Rest all steps will not trouble you. Got the database connection now. It's all about writing the logic now. Second step, what we are doing? Get the database connection. Yes. Next. Next, third step is what? Create the statement object. Statement. Yes, how do you do it? It's very simple. See here. Statement. st is equal to con dot. There's a method called as create statement. I'm calling this method enter. So fine. So it's giving error. Just import it. So there are 2 statements. So one is a class, one is an interface. Don't be in a hurry to press controls, press enter. The wrong class will be imported. So which class will import now? Select properly. Understood? If you hurry in coding, you will get wrong results. So select java.sql only. Press enter. Yes, you got it now. Next. Next step is what? Step 4. What I told step? Execute the query. Yes, result set. Result set in what? Java.sql rs is equal to st dot execute query you have to use. Execute query. Yes, what is the query right now? A normal SQL query, that's it. Select star from the table name. You know the table name, EMP. That's it. So run the program. So your program is getting the database connection, retrieving the values. You got all the values present in your program now. Only you have to print to console now. Where are all the values? In result set object it is there. You have retrieved from the secondary memory into primary memory. So first I will retrieve only the first row and show you. Then I will retrieve the full values. So it will be like this now. How will I do? See, int id. Int id is equal to rs dot get int. See, there are two methods, get int and string. So get int means, sorry, get int, but one requires an int argument, other one requires a string argument. Int means you have to give the column number. It is first column now. So I'll give it as, I'll go with int 1. So I have to give the column index 1. You can go like this also. Okay, or I can also say, that's one way how you can retrieve the value. See, from the result set I'm getting it and putting it into what? Variables. From database I got in result set. From result set I'm putting it into variables like this. So next, other one is what? Next one, string name is equal to rs dot, it is, what is the database column? Get string. So this time I'll go with what? Okay, this also I'll go with column index only, 2. So I'm getting the string value from the second column. Then next, one more is int. What is it? Sal is equal to rs dot get int. See, this time I'll use the name, string, name of the column. What is the name of the column? Salary. SALARY. Write it fully like this. Yes, you got the values. After getting, what you will do? Print. How will you print? SOP. That's it. System.out.println will print what? Java console. So as simple, sys out. Yeah, you print. What is that? First ID you can print plus, yeah, this is print when you can print however you want, tab plus name so let's execute this program and check out now whether we're getting the output or not. Yeah, but yeah, first thing is, where is the cursor? See, if I write the code like this, still this error you see. How will I debug now? It says SQL exception. RS result set not next was not called. The cursor is where? Before first. In the before first we don't have any value. So I have to push the cursor to the first row now. So that I didn't do. So actually I should have written one more line here. RS start next. So like this slowly you start understanding how to debug. Actually I should have written it. Okay. But I forgot to write. See, and I execute, I'll get the error like that. Fine. So what will happen now? Run as. See now, I got the value. Understood? That's the first row here. Means don't think it will be storing in the same order as inserted. In the database, records will be stored in any random order. Okay. So there's no guarantee that as which record you insert will be stored what? Sequentially in the database. So I have inserted. See, this is the record in the database now. Understood? I inserted first as which one? When I inserted first 101, then 102, then 103, 104. While storing in database, it has stored like this. So that is because for security purpose, database will store the records in its own random order. Otherwise, there will be no security. So now, whatever record is there now, it has retrieved from the database. It has retrieved. What value it has retrieved? Full values. Okay, from the it is in the table. This is the table of what? Database. As it is there in the database, same way it has been retrieved into what? Java program. If it is stored in database like this, in your result set also same way will be having the value now. How values are stored in database, same value will be getting it in result set. So that is why when I got the values from the result set, see it's printing in this. And don't expect always 104 only, sometimes you might get 101 also. That time don't panic, but just understand all the values from the table have been retrieved and have been put into result set. From the result set I am getting the value from the first row. So you got it now. Are you clear with this? Any doubts, sir? Get this point. In the database, how the values have been stored, same way you got it in what? This result set. This result set you got now. One full table will be there. RS start next. From before first, where I pushed? First row. So what will be the first row now? 104 only. Yes or no? So in the 104 I got the values from first column, second column, third column. So that's what you can see a print. First it will be pushed here. It will be here. I am telling you result set, but I am actually showing you what? Database table here. So it will be pushed. So it will give you 104 Revati 4000. That's what it's giving you. Done? Okay. For database means security purpose, just understand data will be stored in random order, not in the same order as you insert. Understood? So fine. That is the internal thing about Oracle. Don't worry. But now see here we are printing what? Only one record. But actually I got all the records. Where? In Java program. If I want I can print all. See here. While. I will just put it in while loop. Nothing more I am doing. That's it. So now execute it. See all values are getting printed. Finished. Understood. But one more thing is pending. We have to close the resources now. Still you have not closed the resources. Output you are getting, but close it. And you have to close it in reverse order. RS dot close. Then next what you have to close? Statement dot close. Then what you have to close? Connection dot close. Yes. So this is perfect program now. And this is the step 5. What is the step 5? Process the results. Got all steps. I had written 5 steps, but still technically you'll be seeing this. It's simple. Class dot for name first step, connection con, statement st, then the loop starts off. That's it. So hardly 4 lines of code I wrote, but for writing this 4 lines of code, this much of immense knowledge is required. Understood? And gradually see, we are going to write thousands of, means so many projects we'll be doing now. In fact, this will become a cakewalk to you later. You don't have to worry about this at all. Because we are going to do so many projects and all that. Now as you go on doing, what will happen? Every day will be coding this only now. Because end of the day we are going to develop applications. And when you are developing an application, database is mandatory now. And if you are having database, connectivity will be established. This will become everyday coding. Understood? So even in your dream, if I ask you, you will be able to code this. Only first time now. That is why it will be little cumbersome. Understood? Anything which you learn newly is something new only. But every time you go on coding the same thing, it will become dead easy for you. Dead easy. Even in your dreams, you will be able to code this. So, but just you code and be ready now. So that when you start coding in the next tomorrow and all that, at the next session, it will become easy for you now. Are you clear with this? Okay. So here what I showed you was how to connect, retrieve values and display it in Java console. This is Java console, what I am trying to say. You understanding? This is Java console. Later on we'll have user interface, good user interface. But concept is only this much now, only what you need now. Back end over, only front end we have to display now. That's going to be very simple. So you don't have to worry. So fine, this is one program. So now see, just to give you extra edge, confidence. Okay, I'll write one more program and we'll redo all the things. But in this new program, I'll try to show you how to insert 2 values into the database. 2 values means 2 rows I'll insert. Means see, you can write a program, Java program, to insert also, read the values also, update also, delete also. All you can do. Right now I've shown you only reading. So next I'll show you inserting. Then gradually you start seeing what? Updating, deleting and all that. We'll start seeing. So I'll be inserting 2 records now. Okay. And the 2 records will be, some records I'll insert now. Here. From where? Not directly in database. From Java I'll insert into database. From Java program, I'll write a Java program to insert the 2 new rows. After inserting, totally how many rows will be there now? 7. All the 7 rows I'll be displaying. So what is the program I'm going to write? Write a Java program to insert 2 more rows and retrieve all the rows and display into the Java console. That is the program. You understand what code? You want to write logic now? Take assignments. Understood? So write a Java program to connect to database, insert 2 records and display all the records. 2 new plus all the existing old ones. If there are 5, fine. If there are 10, fine. Whatever it is present, display it. Understood? So let's see now. I'll write it. So let's see now. How do you do? See, close, new. What I'll do? Java project. 02. Create a new project. You'll understand how to add jars and all that very clearly understand. So the name, see again I'll continue to work with what? Oracle only. So I'll give it as simple JDBC Oracle. But it's the second project. Understood? So fine. So in this project again nothing is there. See that? So now see. New package. Fine. Yes, now new class. You can give any name. I'll give it as demo class. Anything you give. Yes. So yes, first understand what we want to do. What is that we want to do? Clearly get the point. We have to write a program, yes, to connect to database. Okay. And I want to connect to database, fine. But in the database, I want to connect to schema called as Ravi Oracle. And I want to work with EMP table. First understand all. I want to connect to database means simply no connection to database. Which schema? And after connecting to which schema, which table you want to work? All that you should decide, because in one schema you can have so many tables. Understood? So all that you should know now. Decide. First get the connection. Same process now. So end of the day, what is that I have to do now? Write a Java program to insert. See, it's a simple statement. Write a Java program to insert 2 records and display all the records. But to do this, first you need database connectivity now. So once you want database connectivity, first 2 lines are common. Which 2 lines? Class.forName. I'm going to type now. Connection con. It's going to be common. After that, what will I do? Con.creation. Almost all same steps will go on repeating now. So that's what I said. Every day when you go on coding, automatically it will become easy. Tomorrow I'll ask you to update some record. Then I'll ask you to delete. For all what you need, database connection now. So that 2 lines will become common now. You don't have to worry. So see this now. How will I code? So this is a new project. See how I code. Same story will start. Class dot. See now you just start recollecting now. Class dot for name. Yes. Don't copy paste. Type. So what is the value you have to do? Give here. Just tell. Oracle dot. You start telling now. Oracle dot. JDBC dot. Driver dot. Oracle driver. Yes. Perfect. Yes, but I'm getting an error. We know what is the error. Exception. For name method throws an exception. So I will say quick fix surround with try catch. Fine, that is solved. And here I'll put something like yes, done. This is done. Okay, but let's run the program now. Let us see whether the statement is executing or not. I'll put on SOP now. So always do this. Don't write all the lines. See, you have a tendency in colleges and all, what you do? All 4 lines you will write and then try to get output. You will never get output in your life like that if you code. Understood? Always what you do, every line you type, execute and see first it works or not. Debug the errors there itself. Otherwise later on you will never understand the error is coming from which place. We can debug, we have experience, but this is how we learnt. Because we learnt like this, that is how we can debug it in a very easy way. Understood? So learn this now. See, driver is loaded. Let's try to execute. Yes, again the same problem now. What? Class not found exception. So what you need? I have to supply the jar file to this project now. This is a separate project. 01 is a separate Java project, 02 is a separate Java project. This project doesn't know anything about that jar file. See here, you can see anything here, only JRE system library is there. So what I should do now? I have to add. So right click, you know how to add now. Properties, Java build path, library. See now it is, if you keep it in C drive jar, it is easy to add. If it was there in Oracle folder, every time you will have to visit it. So that is why I copied and pasted it into C drive, because you will be needing it for almost all projects now. Because all our projects will be doing on what? Database connectivity. So I kept it, that's why. So JDBC, so I'll open and I'll say okay, now see it is added. Done? So once it is there, next see. Driver is loaded, no exception now. Next what? Next what? Get the connection. Connection con is equal to driver manager dot get connection. The third one you pick, get connection, it's overloaded. So URL will be what? JDBC colon, same thing now. This is also one more program. It should connect now. So what? Oracle colon thin colon at the rate of localhost. Same story will repeat. Colon 1521 colon XE colon. So be careful, one wrong value it will not execute. I'll show you if I give a wrong value what happens. So localhost, then username would be what? Password so yes. So again we are getting an error. So what should I do? Unhandled exception, quick fix. What is it? Add catch clause to sorry. So fine, SQL exception done. Done. So after it is caught, let's again print one print statement here. Whether we have got the connection or not, we'll check out now. So I got the connection. So all you have to do is what now? You have to insert. For inserting, you know how to write the query. Only that query you will be writing it in Java program now. Yes, what is the query? We'll see now. But before that, you have to write what? You have to create the statement. Statement st java.sql statement st is equal to con dot create statement. So I'll call this method. Then I want to insert this time. So for inserting, I'll not use execute query method. If I want to select now, I'll use execute query. If I want to insert, I'll use a method called as st.execute method. There are many methods. One by one I start explaining you. So which method I'm using? The first method, execute string SQL. Okay. So I have to insert 2 records now. Write your query now. How will you write? Write it in caps. You can write it in small case also, because SQL queries are case insensitive, but make it clear, because now you can clearly distinguish between Java code and database code. Insert into EMP. See now, here it becomes very clear. I could have given the values directly, but don't do it. Always use what? Into which column you are inserting which value. It is very clear now. So practice writing queries like this. Employee ID, next what? Name, comma, salary. Then next, values. See, even the values you put it in not. Okay, one second. Values 1 not 5 not 6. 5 records are there. 6, comma. Yes, I'll give it. Make it as Kumar. Means see this value always caps. And next is salary. Salary would be 6,000. So varchar you give it in single quotes. Got it now? Put semicolon. Yes, it is gone now. So understand how to write the query. So next what you have to do? 106, correct? See now it's very clear. It's very clear. 106 will go into employee ID. Kumar will go into name. 6,000 will go into salary column. But if you give up values directly now, you'll never know which value is going into which column. So that's why I write your queries very clearly like this. But I said I want to insert 2 records. Yes, what is the next record? 7, any name you give. I'll give the name as Rama and his salary will be 7,000. Done. So then next. So after inserting, what I want to do? Display now. So for displaying best, what I'll do? The same thing I'll copy from the previous program now. But you don't do like this, because I'm running short of time. I'm doing this. Clear? Same thing now. You want to display now all the records now. So do it. Same thing you'll write now. So you have to write one more query. You have to write now. Next. Sorry, 1 second. I'll come back to this. So after inserting, next what you want to do? Retrieve the values. So st.execute method will insert. But the next one which we are going to see is going to now retrieve the values. Result set rs, write one more code down. st.execute. Yes, now it becomes important. Execute. Which method you will call? Query. Yes. And here you will write. So if you want to do select now, always use what? Execute query. If you want to do insert, update, you will use which method? Execute method. So there is some difference between execute method and execute query method. Execute method, we always do CUD operation. CUD means creating, updating, delete a record. In R will be done always through execute query method. Reading. So if you want to write select, always use what? Execute query, and return type of that is what? Result set. Understood? So right, we'll be seeing more things of all that technically. Select star from EMP. Yes. So after retrieving, what will you do? Print. Yes. Now you can copy paste. After retrieving, means you write again what? While rs start next. All that you can write. And close all the resources. Done. Are you clear this? So shall I run the program now? Yes. So let's run the program and see what has happened. Yes, fine. So yes, it's inserted and displaying it. If you want proof, go and check in database now. So these were the previous values. See, when you run the program, it is already inserting it, retrieving it and displaying it to us. So this is what has happened. Are you clear? Clear? Okay. Now sometimes what you will do to check whether it is working or not, you will rerun the program. What will happen? Again 2 more records will be inserted. Same program is running now. Be careful with all this. So anyway, we are going to see. So in database what has happened? Because every time you run the program, what happens? It will go on inserting. We'll see how to avoid all that. See, fact is, first of all, understand, we will never hard code values like this. Yes or no? That get the point. We get these values dynamically. So all this will be resolved, but just I am telling you, if you run the program, again it will execute and you will see the same value. Don't panic. Oh, yes, sir, it is repeating. Understood? Since you are running the program, it will be executing. But these values I am hard coding now. But already at the beginning of the class I told it will come dynamically. Understood? So that time you will understand all this very clearly. Understood? But this is the mechanism to insert, means get the database connectivity and do all the CRUD operations. And Java is giving you brilliant support for this. Are you clear with this? You want one more time? See, again I will execute. So now see how many times it's gone inserting. Understood? Fine. So like that you can go on inserting any number of records. Fine. So leave that. And okay. Now some errors I will try to show you. What might happen if you code wrong. I am coming to the first program. I have closed the second program. I opened which one? The first program. See, by chance I will give some wrong name. Mistake in typing. You should know how to debug. No, see, I am comfortable with this. I started typing. First time you might make mistakes and you might get errors. You should know how to debug now. Just see what is the error you will get. What you will expect? Class not found exception. Why? Because it's trying to load a .class file from this package. Is there a package by name dir.ivr? No. Understood? So that's how you debug now, and you learn always with what? Mistakes only. So don't by heart and code. Next, see this one more I will do. While writing localhost 1521, by chance I will give some wrong. Sorry, 1 second. I will give one instead of localhost, some mistake I will do here, or port number wrong I will do. Okay, or I will give a wrong port number instead of 1521, I will make it 27. Accidentally or unknowingly or something like that. Okay, so see this. What is error you will get now? Exception, but all are caught. Driver is loaded, but you have not got the connection. Why? Could not establish the connection because you have given what? The wrong port number. That time you have to go and check there. Understood? So rectify it, now you'll get the connection. Sometimes their user only will not be there. So assume that you are trying to connect to a schema by name Ravi, or a spelling mistake, anything you think. It is not there now. So you try to connect. What will happen now? Their connection refused. Here what will happen? Invalid username. So very clearly you start understanding all the errors. Okay. So then, what if I give a wrong query? Instead of from, I'll give something like employee, something like this. EMPLOYEE. Okay, I'll say select star from employee. Fact is, table by name employee is not there. So that time you see what is the error you'll get. Just showing you all the possible errors. Table or view does not exist. What more do you need? Understood? Compilation errors will be reported by Eclipse. Runtime problems will be reported very clearly why the problem is occurring. Understood? Table or view does not exist. Then, okay, I'll come with employee only. By chance I'll make on query mistake. While writing the query I have done one mistake. So that is why always type your query where? In Apex and paste it here. Don't directly paste, type here. If you're experts you type. I have shown you how to type queries now. I've shown you how to write queries. Type there and paste it. If it works there, then you paste it here. Just see this now. These are all mistakes which might occur. So we are trying to resolve all this. From keyword, not found. So like this you get errors. But doesn't mean that you give up. You have to learn. Okay. So see, we saw two programs. One program which will connect to database, retrieves values, display it. Another program which will connect to database, inserts values, then retrieves all the values and displays it. Two programs we saw. End of the day, such terrific coding, hardly what did we do in Java? Think from Java point of view. In other languages you have to code everything from scratch. Here what did I do? Just see. First line this one now. I called a method. I'm not doing anything. Second line. Also I'm calling method. Third line. Calling method. Step 3. Step 4. Calling method. Step 5. All we are doing is what? Calling methods. We are not writing any logic here. All logic is ready-made for us in Java. It is present in the library. You should only know how to use your library now. So first we talk about concepts. Means I want to do this, I want to do that. And finally the solution will be given to you by Java in the form of what? Its library. Such simple. So any mistake you do while coding, see this. By chance, if I say I do spelling mistake in get connection method name only, what will happen? Compilation error. So that's how it happens. Compiler will give you errors if you start calling wrong members of the class. If you send wrong values, see, end of the day you have to call correct method and send what? Correct arguments. Nothing more here. Call correct method, send correct argument, you'll get the output. If you are calling wrong method and sending wrong arguments, nobody can save this. And how do you know which are the methods and all that? From tomorrow I'll start coding what? By referring to docs, Java docs. That time it will become damn easy for you. I didn't refer for what? Java docs today. I'll refer tomorrow Java docs and start coding. That time it will become fully easy for you. So means in the next class I'll show you how to get connected with MySQL. So work with Oracle. Same thing what I have done today. Same thing. I'll be doing it with MySQL tomorrow. So better you code, practice this so that tomorrow when you work on MySQL it will be very easy. Clear this? So in fact you will not get any doubts. If you are, what you have to do is just keep coding. And here till now some of you have come from earlier classes. Happily you are seeing video and watching. Now that will not happen because all this will start getting clubbed now. I'll club database, I'll club JDBC, I'll club collections. All I'll start clubbing. Understood? So mandatory you have to code from now at least. Now at least you code, at least by the time I start developing applications you will pick up. Understood? And this is what you are going to do in industry. If you are going in industry, this is what you are going to do. You understood what you are going to do in industry now? So values will be retrieved. Only you have to write what now? Domain logic. Domain logic means what? Depending on your domain. If it is banking domain, you will write that logic. Insurance domain, you will write that logic. So In Java, we literally don't bother about anything. Everything is ready-made for us. They are giving you sufficient library for coding everything. Hardly you have to write domain logic. Clear with all this? Clear? So code all this today and get ready for the next class. Done? Okay, that's it. Okay, see, before we wind up this program now, okay, before we close the class, what I'll do is, see, we have typed some queries here. Initially, for the first program, I inserted these values into database. So these queries, what I'll do, I'll copy and paste it here into your first program, first project. So what you do, save it, because here we will be writing a lot of SQL queries now. So the related queries will be kept in the related projects. So how will you keep? See, right click, new, you can say file and give a name, any file name you want to give, employee.txt. Anything you give, any name, but provided let it be employee.txt, paste all your queries. So these were the queries we used for this project now. So keep it here. Okay. So then next, for the second project also I use some queries. Yes or no? So those queries also, what you do, keep it like that only. New file, give the same name, employee.txt. You can give the same name because it's a different project. No issues. Then again what you do, paste it. Same queries now which we used. Plus two more queries I used extra, which one? Inserting. So all these queries related to the second project. So what I'll do, I'll keep it in the this file now. So these two queries I'll copy paste. Done. This is one query. The next query is what? 107. So these are the queries used in the second project. Okay, this one was also caps, just change it. This is capital values. Here also I change it. So done. So whatever queries are related to the corresponding project, I kept it here. So if you close now, see here, it will be available here itself. Employee.txt. Clear? So save all your queries like this in the corresponding projects. Maintain this standard. So as you go on coding more projects, whatever queries are there, one by one you can go on adding like this. Clear this? Okay, that's it.